They say there's a sound hidden in the earth's heartbeat, a vibration older than the first sunrise, older than the hymns of the Rig Veda that rose in the dawn when language was still young. It is not a sound the ear can hear, but something felt in the marrow, in the stillness between breaths, in that secret place where thought and dream blur together. Some claim it is the same tone the rain hums as it falls in forgotten forests, the same deep rhythm that has rolled through the mountains since the first humans stood beneath them and wondered if they were alone. Those who hear it speak of visions that bloom like fever dreams. In one, the Roman Empire rises again, legions marching not through dusty roads, but through the glass towers of Wall Street, where grain futures and marble statues share the same stage. In another, Nordic gods drink in smoky halls, their booming laughter echoing as they argue over the price of Bitcoin. Free markets and dictatorships appear not as enemies, but as wrestlers in a fixed match, throwing each other across the ring while secretly working from the same script. Historians, at least the strange ones who scribble in candlelight, insist that love, commerce, and conquest are simply masks worn by the same ancient puppeteer. They whisper that the presidents and prime ministers we have cheered or cursed are only characters in a cosmic theater, their speeches written by hands that remain unseen. The roads we pave, the cities we crown with towers, the rumors we spread in bars and bedrooms, these too are scenes in the endless play. Some of the greatest con artists in history have never hidden in alleys. They have worn crowns and suits, their smiles worth more than gold. Yet the deeper conspiracy lies not in the corridors of power or the chambers of commerce, but in art itself. Look closely at the Mona Lisa and see if her smile is not a cipher, a code pointing to something beyond paint and canvas. Watch the way the light in the night watch seems almost to blink. Even Dali's melted clocks in the persistence of memory look less like timepieces and more like maps of a dream someone else is having. Musicians, too, are accused in these circles, rock riffs that shake the body, Bach fugues that seem to solve puzzles you didn't know you had, both carrying the same seed, the secret that consciousness may not be an accident of evolution, but a harvest. Close your eyes for a moment and hear the rain again. Smell the wet moss of the forest floor. Let the sound settle in your bones. Now imagine that same rain falling in the Roman Forum, dripping from broken marble columns, pooling in the grooves carved by forgotten feet. Imagine it sliding down the brim of a cowboy's hat as he rides a lonely road in the American West, the leather creaking beneath him. Imagine it pattering on the roof of a temple where Buddha sat in stillness, where Krishna played his flute to an audience of trees and birds, where Jesus knelt to wash the dust from the feet of his disciples. The rain is the same in all these places, and it has no preference for empire or prophet, soldier or shepherd. Mountains have watched all of it in silence, older than pride or dignity, unmoved by revolutions or coronations, untouched by the tides of worship and war. People, whether gathered in masses or walking alone, are but notes in the symphony of the earth's breath, brief and bright, before fading into quiet. Yet even in such a vast hallucination, there is room for comedy. Mark Twain once said that politicians in diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. Groucho Marx, with his painted mustache and quick tongue, called politics the art of looking for trouble, finding it everywhere, diagnosing it incorrectly, and applying the wrong remedies. Somewhere, in the middle of history's seriousness, a president tells a joke on live television and 1 billion people laugh, unaware that the line was written by someone pulling strings from the shadows. Somewhere else, a pro wrestler clotheslines a man in a suit, and the crowd roars without knowing they have just cheered a perfect metaphor for every revolution they will ever see. Even the grandest conspiracies seem to have a sense of humor about themselves, as if the universe enjoys a punchline as much as a prophecy, but laughter alone cannot hide the other truths that slip through the cracks. If you listen closely to the music of the world, rock and roll thundering through stadium speakers, a symphony swelling under the baton of a conductor, the clatter of coins in a street performer's hat, you might hear the same pulse that hums in the rain. Love appears again and again, wearing 1,000 disguises. Passion drives brushstrokes across canvas, revolutions through city streets, prayers whispered in midnight rooms, and scams whispered in dim alleys. In the same marketplace where honesty struggles to make a living, pride and hard work build monuments that may one day be mistaken for temples. Cowboys ride into sunsets for the same reason emperors build arches, to be remembered even if the mountains do not care. Some say the sound at the heart of the world is the voice of God, or perhaps of many gods. Odin with his single eye, Jesus with his open arms, Buddha with his quiet smile, Krishna with his flute, each offering a different melody to the same song. The Rig Veda's ancient verses are not separate from the jokes told in dusty taverns or the chants of protesters in crowded streets. All are verses in the same epic, chapters of the same dream. Nature is the ever-patient page on which it is written, the forest breathing, the mountain watching, the rivers carrying whispers from one shore to another. Roads snake through this world like veins, carrying merchants and messiahs, lovers and liars, con artists and poets. Along these roads, rumors grow like weeds, some harmless, others poisonous enough to topple kings. In such a world, feelings are not just private storms, but public weather. Aloneness can feel heavier than a city, and the mass of people can feel lonelier than a desert. Dignity can be a crown or a burden. Hope can light a room or burn it down. Honesty can be an anchor or a chain, depending on who holds it. Pride can build or destroy with equal passion. Hard work can be worshipped like an idol or ignored like a beggar. And still, in the middle of it all, love keeps threading itself through every story, as if unwilling to be left out of even the most cynical plot. The longer you listen to the heartbeat of the earth, the more you realize that the hallucination might not be a distortion, but a revelation. Perhaps reality itself is the dream we keep waking from, a flicker between two deeper states. Every empire, every religion, every marketplace and theater might be no more than props on a stage set for a play that has no final act. The rain will keep falling on the ruins and the roads alike, on the faces of prophets and cowboys, on the marble of forgotten temples and the leather of saddles worn thin. Somewhere, the puppeteer will keep changing masks, and somewhere else the audience will keep laughing, crying, buying tickets, and demanding encores. And when the sound comes again, the one older than sunrise, older than memory, you will not know if you are waking or dreaming, only that you have heard something true, and that it will not leave you